Rifftrax. Never pick tracks, better riffs are missing. Why you always gotta pick Rifftrax? It's your lucky day, it's time for Rifftrax.
Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. And welcome to episode 12 of every Rifftrax short reviewed, where I take 5 Rifftrax shorts in chronological order and give them a rating between 1 and 5, with the ratings being good, great, awesome, fantastic, and spectacular, since I don't think a bad Rifftrax short exists. Yes, we're a full dozen episodes into this series, so let's not waste any time and dive right into episode 12 of every Rifftrax short reviewed. Number 56, What It Means to Be an American, Part 1, from September 10th, 2009.
Sometimes teachers have to scold, and the world seems discouraging.
Sit up straight.
But it's all part of learning to think for yourself, to live the American way.
We'll drill independent thinking into your skull if we have to kill you to do it.
This short poses an interesting question. What exactly does it mean to be an American? Well, to start off, you have to be sure on no uncertain terms that you live somewhere, anywhere, in the United States.
Perhaps you live on a New England farm, where through the years your ancestors have added many rooms to the original house.
They should have stuck to farming. Their construction work is shoddy and unsafe.
In Charleston, South Carolina, with its historical harbor and typical colonial homes.
And incontinent 8-term senators.
Perhaps you live in a large city like New York or Philadelphia, in a house of native stone.
But anyways, moving on to what it means to be an American.
Or you may live in our great Midwest.
If you're bored, this is probably the case.
Or you may live near Miami, Florida.
This guy's really uncertain about where I live. He'd make a lousy stalker.
Once you're positive you actually live here, you need to see if you and your family can relate to the quote-unquote typical American family. Do you go to New England and learn about our country's rich history? Does your family have picnics and play badminton on your fruit farm? Then you are well on your way to knowing what it means to be an American.
Tourists from all over America visit Paul Revere's home.
They spend the ride home wondering why the heck they just did that.
They like to imagine how he rode bravely through the night.
Then they are punished for using their imaginations.
Let's look in on a typical American family on a northwestern fruit farm and see how little Americans start out in life.
Millions of us live on fruit farms.
He is a small boy to be trying so hard. A typical American boy.
Paul is doomed to a liberal arts degree.
The boy's cousins live on the adjoining farm, a typical American scene. The family are having a picnic in the backyard.
Oh, it are it?
Brother and Ann quarrel over the potato chips.
Brother's a typical American dick.
A young Kevin Murphy shows how mature he is. Gimme.
Mr. Carr is a typical American father and encourages his children in all their activities.
No, damn it, wrong!
Molly and Molly. The Carrs have finished dinner and are trying out the new badminton court.
They'll be crying in just a few minutes.
Molly hits it very well. Father and Emily applaud.
They got $20 on Molly.
What else does it mean to be an American? Stay tuned for the thrilling conclusion. But for now, this short gets a 3.5 out of 5.
Freedom that is most unusual in the world of today.
But I digress from my main point. You may live in Vienna, Virginia, or Wall, South Dakota, or you may live in Slidell, Louisiana.
Let's look in on
Number 57, The Case of Tommy Tucker, Part 1, from September 14th, 2009.
I think I'd like it here.
That's fine, son. I'll get the book and check you in.
After the customary public reading of your sins.
After seeing the creepiest school play that could ever be put to film, we hear about a terrible accident that befell young Tommy Tucker. Apparently, Tommy Tucker was some sort of safety monitor, as well as the biggest celebrity in town, since everybody, including the mayor, seems to know him very well and are quite shaken to find out he's in the hospital.
It's funny how many dads end up having really important meetings on the day of the school safety pageant.
What are the odds?
Gosh!
Wicker Man the musical.
Not the bees! No, not the bees!
Ain't that safety very dull? That's why we're eating home skull.
Hail to Baal!
Wait a minute.
Not him. Yes, it is.
The Hamburglar?
I tell you, Mrs. Blake, I was sick when I heard about it. Just sick.
Alvin and the Chipmunks too, the Squeakwell.
Awful. He was such a... Oh, I just can't talk about it.
Now finish bagging my whiskey.
Yes, this is the mayor.
Yes, I refer to myself as the mayor.
We then join Tommy in some sort of safety purgatory simply known as Safety Island. Tommy is amazed by everything he sees, which is really disturbing when you think about it. But with the help of some sort of Safety Island greeter, we see how Tommy began his reign of safety terror that he controlled before his accident.
He is utterly delighted by his death.
Now, what's your name, lad?
Tommy. Tommy Tucker. Just like in the nursery rhyme. Only I don't sing very well.
Tommy, you do know this is hell, right?
Well, Tommy here was acting mayor for the day.
He was very corrupt.
Well, Tommy,
You weren't supposed to leave the earth for a long, long time. As a matter of fact, your name isn't even in my book.
I believe you're a wraith now, Tommy.
No.
what would you do if you were really mayor? I mean for more than just today.
Martial law, sir.
Mayor?
Flute music plays all the time here.
Look, just kill me now.
In less than 6 months, as far as traffic accidents were concerned, the town was actually the safest in the country.
We'd kill anyone who disagreed.
Courtesy became-
Another cliffhanger to keep us guessing. This entry gets a 3.5 out of 5.
And the whole town got behind it and put it over. It became the basis for a complete safety program. Look,
The sun didn't set on Tommy's kingdom.
Number 58, What It Means to Be an American, Part 2, from September 17th, 2009.
What can you do in your daily life to become a person good for America?
Get a damn haircut.
Well, I believe that you are doing it now.
By lining the highway with picnic tables.
If you were here over to the
In case you're still wondering whether or not you're an American, here's the second half of our patriotic lesson. As previously stated, you may be an American if you work on a fruit farm, but you could also be an American if you build houses for a living.
For example, building a house.
Well, that's American as hell.
Foreman, American parents try constantly to teach their children to do things for themselves,
They do?
to be interested in what other people are doing, to take part in everything that goes on around them.
Huh, all I taught my kids is how to flick bottle caps.
Father walks,
Ow, oh, ow, ow. Oh, you think I would learn, but no.
work continues.
Until it's time not to work, then the work ceases.
Bill has been with the firm many years. He started at the bottom and worked up to his present position.
Manager of the bottom.
Each man can be depended on to do his bit intelligently and accurately.
The narrator has never met my cable
Building
service.
trades is a plasterer. They all have a cooperative way of working.
Oh, beautiful for stucco house, for amber waves of sod.
After all the great details the narrator's already given us, you should know on no uncertain terms if you're an American. So now what do? Well, you get to indulge in all the luxuries our great nation has to offer you, from electronics to universities to churches to merry-go-rounds.
Notice the cars of the workmen. Workmen in foreign countries do not go to their jobs in cars.
They have to use
Do
boats.
they have such luxuries as electric stoves, washing machines, irons, radios, and television sets?
Rest of the world eats dirt.
Luxury University of Florida.
Offering advanced degrees in binge drinking.
We like to go to church and can go to any church we please.
Except the secret ones.
We are indeed fortunate to have a chance to learn and think for ourselves, and not to be controlled by the state every minute of our lives.
Only during working hours.
We all Presbyterian Church in Wichita, Kansas. Freedom of religion is a great privilege.
Don't squander it on Eckankar.
They listen to the advice of their teacher, but each boy feels free to give his own opinion.
In my opinion, Principal Weatherby's a pig.
Doctors, scientists, businessmen, and engineers.
Unicyclists and pro wrestling managers.
Historical church in Charleston, South Carolina.
Where Andrew Jackson enjoyed bars and punch after services.
Commencement day arrived.
With blistering hangovers.
Typically American. Children of many nationalities. Indians, English, Mexicans, Chinese.
But no Irish.
All fortunate. They are serious as they enter the stage, realizing as never before that our way of life is being attacked and that its survival lies in their hands.
Or they're just planning how bomb they're going to get tonight.
Lives, generosity,
This little lesson in patriotism gets a 3 out of 5.
And buildings and rocks and shop.
In the Far East, the Niagara River flows over the high cliffs to become Niagara Falls.
Wait, that's half Canadian. Hell, bastard.
Number 59, The Case of Tommy Tucker, Part 2, from September 21st, 2009.
every so often they take little chances. They become careless numbskulls who think that accidents can only happen to the other fellow.
He's not talking about
And I'll
me.
tell you something.
We last left Tommy with the hallucination of Safety Island, where we were finally getting his backstory. It turns out Tommy had a pipe dream of a safety plan for his town that would make their town the safest in the country. And you know what? Everybody that lived there was totally okay with a 10-year-old suddenly rising to power in their city. Unfortunately, the town eventually slipped back into its old dangerous habits. They became careless and reckless once more, and were treated to getting a glimpse into the creepy side of Tommy's psyche, where people who cause accidents become dark creatures of the night.
And our town really became the safest community in the country.
If you don't count all those dog attacks.
Every citizen of Tommy's town was safety-minded.
Evidently a cruise ship was passing by their house.
All of the local automobile dealers cooperated by reminding motorists
To go to hell.
to maintain a regular mechanical check of their cars.
Nobody listened.
One of them, an awful lot of accidents that are caused by people who think they're good drivers or careful pedestrians.
Their arrogance is punished with death.
Call them the Fringe. Really started something with the safety program, and it got results.
Fun levels dropped by 60%.
Some of them had a series of regularly scheduled safety movies right in the showroom.
And not only are our highways patrolled...
Wait, people actually came to those?
Well, Tommy, the constant menace to safety is...
Foreign cars.
There's Mr. J.B. Anderson.
Reformed arsonist.
He knows better than to get out on that side of the car. And as a rule, he doesn't do it.
He gets out on the passenger
But
side?
today, he takes a chance. He just...
Oh my God! Oh dear
Look
God.
over here. And why didn't this fellow wait until he was sure it was safe to walk?
Because he turned into Rorschach.
And how about... See, he forgot to signal. Well, he got away with it that time.
He quickly found employment as a ventriloquist dummy.
Apparently, Tommy likes Safety Island so much that in reality he has lost the will to live and would rather have his death serve as a safety lesson to others. But it's not until seeing his mother's grief that he begins to want to live again. And luckily, the people didn't even need Tommy to die for his accident to scare them all back into line.
He'd give anything in the world to undo the harm, but as always, it's too late now.
People have decided they like a Tommy-free world.
The doctor says
He says I have a tuchus that just won't quit. That's about it.
if we could only get Tommy to help, to fight, to want to...
Can't my huge feather help in any way?
Even Billy Phipps is making a proper arm signal.
Since he's haunted by your ghastly, leering wraith.
Too. And the pedestrians are waiting at the curb, waiting until the signal changes.
And your ghastly, leering wraith is driven off by an exorcist.
They're remembering you. And driving and walking safely.
And if you had to be mangled beyond recognition to make that happen, it's a price we're happy to pay.
Remember...
I don't think I want to be an object lesson after all.
'Cause they'll make me into a Lifetime movie, and that would suck.
Home. No, they won't. Please.
Look, kid, sack up. You'll be dead and you'll like it.
Other people will remember, too.
Never realized St. Peter was such a dick.
The cups. If you let me go back, I promise to try.
To crush your enemies one by one, I swear.
Well, sir?
Shall we blithely ignore the dead kid's heartfelt pleas and have him start scrubbing the latrine?
Tommy is going to be all right.
He'll have an extra head, sure, but it won't be able to talk.
May Tommy's near-death experience come as a safety lesson for us all. This one gets a 4 out of 5.
Wait, the doctor was also chief of Safety Island, so is he God?
Nah, just a lesser cherubim who got old and found a sweet retirement gig.
Number 60, Women in Blue, from September 24th, 2009.
Realize that every woman accepted for voluntary emergency service, every wave, means a man returned for battle duty.
The men are furious.
Do you have what it takes to be a woman in the Navy during World War II? Well, this short will help you find out. To start, you have to be fitted for a uniform, keep the bunks tidy, and do ridiculous-looking daily workout routines.
An important item is shoes. Get them a half size larger, girls, because your feet may swell after a 5-mile hike.
The heels might have something to do with that.
And the Navy's household is always neat.
Ever since we tricked these ladies into joining, that is.
Yo, heave ho, my lassies.
Please don't ever say that again.
Waistline down. Mess time and good old Navy chow.
May contain sawdust and or horse.
Uh-oh. That hidden dust. Somebody's gonna get it. Looks like extra duty for her.
She would return from the captain's office pale and trembling.
The sadistic training regiment continues.
Body conditioning is prescribed for the entire personnel in the Navy, from Admiral to Blue Jacket. And now the wave.
You can just picture the fear in the Fuhrer's eye when he sees this.
Chocolate pudding for dessert. Think of the calories.
Okay.
But don't worry, it's proper food for a balanced diet in the Navy.
This statement not based on facts of any sort.
Once you've gotten these basics down, the real work begins, and you'll learn how to identify and build aircrafts, how to use your weapons, and what you should have been taught the moment you arrived, how the Navy's actually run.
Plain identification.
It's pointless.
And they must know how their Navy is run. The relation of bureaus, direction, and authority.
Proper scapegoating techniques.
Commander-in-Chief. And here is the backbone of the waves, the enlisted personnel.
The naval equivalent of a triangle player.
Our air power would collapse without...
Okay, start it up.
Ow.
They learn what makes it tick, what makes it shoot.
What makes it tear people in half like they were baguettes?
I don't know, but I've been told. Quiet, dear, the men are talking.
Men who used to do these jobs are now aboard aircraft carriers in battle areas.
Puking over the side.
Have been mobilized.
The real work in the Navy begins today.
Except for Joanne. She failed bed making.
Well, she keeps mumbling, bastards, I'll kill you all, but she's getting a lot of bullseyes.
That's what it takes to be a woman in blue and to get your short a 3 out of 5.
You had a good home, but you left.
You're right.
There aren't any decent men left.
You're right.
You wash out your panties and draft.
You're right.
Count off.
1, 2.
America's...
As always, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll be taking another break from this series until January because we're going back full force into holiday videos. We'll be starting this Thursday, November 17th, with the infamous and amazing Star Wars Holiday Special. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys later.